Good morning, and welcome. What is it they're welcoming to? Is it
Tuesday?
Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, that's right. Good morning and welcome. We didn't move the green
screen's
screen.
up, down.
I mean, I kind of like it. Don't remove it, use it. What's a nice...
Morning, Josh.
I'm gonna do this.
Josh, we miss you.
Josh, I hope things are going well. Up in the place.
I don't know what you're looking for, so I cannot help you.
Hold on. You read alerts.
We have a 28-month resub from Larry C24, thank you. 58 months from Mech Mayhem. 37 months at Tier 2 from Arpega. Chroma Key and Image of Chaz. 57 months from Satsy. 55 months from Cosmic Searle. 57 months from Hound Flash. 55 months from Mr. Viperfang. Furious Kitty gifted a sub to the Silent Companion. We had a 58-month resub from Danny X6. 12 months, clap, from Caredelia. Furious Kitty gifted a sub to Mr. Raichu Dude. And we had 36 months from Elfie Goldfish. Is that a clap? 36?
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, I haven't had coffee, and I took my morning meds, and I got a pill stuck in my throat. You know, it's like the worst thing ever.
Sure. Okay.
Hate it. Furious Kitty gifted a sub to Padawan Becca. Furious Kitty gifted out a few gift subs this morning. 55 months from Incarnado95. 58 months from Spiffla. Furious Kitty gifted a sub to Sapphire Becca, and from Nick Dak Dak. Dak Dak. Yeah, look at those little gift subs, thank you. 58 months from LHMS 1704. 9 months from Haste the Day 98. 34 months from Stoop Kid 241. 28 months from Kimikawa. 55 months from Missing No Leader. 32 months from Full Metal Grizz 98. You're getting there, Steven.
Yeah, sorry. It takes slightly longer than one would think.
Lassie's revolutionary snack, Tiny Eddie's Oops. All radishes.
Tiny Eddie's Oops!
That's 1,000 bits from the Leaf. Tiny Eddie, can we get a particularly green snack to match the lovely background this morning? Oops, all radishes. I mean...
If the radishes, aren't ready?
No, they're still white then, but, the radish leaves are green. Radishes are good. I'd never had a radish until, adulthood. And I was like, man, I've been missing these because they're spicy?
Yeah, if little slices of them on a salad are nice.
Or dipped in ranch?
Yeah, there are other times I don't really have a good need for them.
Yeah, I'd never had them before, and I'm like, why aren't they in things? Because they're good.
This is onto the screen now.
I had no idea they were spicy either. They're so weird. They're a root vegetable, they grow in the dirt. Anyway, thank you, Leaf, for the radishes. Can you scroll up?
Yes. Sorry.
Thank you. How many pepperonis is a radish? 1. They're not that spicy.
Beautiful.
Beautiful,
all right.
thank you.
I've done it. Sorry, it's not as easy as Googling an image. It's Googling a public domain image and then going that route and checking the licensing to make sure that I'm allowed to show it.
All right, I need to add something to my list quick.
Can you put live, laugh, love in the sky?
Spiffle says, wait, radishes are spicy? Yeah, they just got a little kick. Just a little kick.
Yeah.
It's weird. You're like, I don't feel like they should have a little kick, but it does. Oh, I already put them on my list. Cool.
Renee, did you move again?
But I also need to add this.
I like how this insinuates that we brought a couch to, like, the outdoors. It's great.
Wait, no, that was the 26th.
Anyway, okay. Well, this is now what happens when I forget. I actually have the thing set up for green screen because we've used it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of appropriate. The bird flying through the sky makes more sense than flying through our room. that was 500 bits from Lost Vagabond. It says, look at the wildlife. I like how we just so happen to get the one holding a leather. Ellie says, can't believe you moved outdoors. We're just always on the move. Like every 9 months, we just have to. This
I'm
actually
getting rid of all of my possessions.
This actually
All of them.
is closer to like 9 weeks. We've lived here 9 weeks. Time to go. We gotta keep moving. Anyway, let me finish finish these up. Now that I've spent the entire stream so far just clicking buttons. 58 months from Space Vixen Music. 32 from Zazaz, my man. 501 bits from Adrian Quell with the DJ Poke Pride Star Rain. 44 months from NG Ben. 300 bits from Furious Kitty with the 8-bit K Star Rain. 31 from Nomi Bookworm. Mr. Viperfang gifted a sub to Green Screen. 27 months from Zadoichi. 300 from Aldo. It says, after reading the comments from yesterday's VOD, glad to see I wasn't the only one who thought I'd somehow missed Extra Life. Whoops. Sorry. There's some old VODs that I'm still in the process of getting up. And that one I had actually put onto the channel like weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And it had started to get pushed down the list, and I was going to forget that it was on the channel. And I was like, oh, I should just like release this. So I just released it. There's so many other things too. Like obviously we've been releasing like Yoshi's Island, but also there's still a few series that are missing. Like It Takes Two isn't on StephenVOD. What's the one with the guys? It's like two guys.
Brothers?
Two guys, and they're not brothers. One is older. A Way Out, yeah. I'm glad that someone understood what I was trying to get at.
It's been a while.
Now observe the wild poggy as it begins its morning howl. Blimey, mate. Get down there, buddy. Get down. Get down. Not you. You stay. 3,000 for Fomolo Gris. The wild poggy in its natural habitat of being outside, being a sock creature outside. 43 months from Writer Book Ninja. 39 from Josh R2D2. 58 months at Tier 2 Gold Toast for Drek. 550 bits from Narkitty with the George Chicory, the Star Rain. 24 months from Liberty KJ. Congrats on the 2. 40 months from Shadowlance. 46 from Bucky Boy. 34 from Justin the Light. 500 bits from Incarnato says, and now we see the wild grandpa in his natural habitat. My natural habitat
Is not outdoors.
My natural habitat is outdoors, but on a couch. It's very specific. That's what I do.
Give me the bird.
So many birds. Little bird parade. Furious Kitty gifted a sub to
Why is
Haley.
your head wet?
Thank you, Kitty. 33.
Water.
He had a drink this morning, so that's why he a little moist. The moist boy. Boop. 33 months from Charhutch, and 500 bits on the Relude says Stephen is living up to his title of Cryptid Husband by moving straight into the wilderness.
I like how Mel kisses him anyway. He likes it. See, that's why his head's up like this right now.
There's been a lot that's occurred since our last stream. Did you know that? Did you think about that?
No, what happened? I can only think of yesterday because I went to like 7 places.
There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot. So Friday was Zelda, which has been going well. We're getting somewhere, which is good.
Oh yeah, Saturday was a busy day too. I went like 7
Correct.
other places.
Yeah, correct. So on Saturday, Mal, Haley, Dan, and Brandon went to go see a show. There was a show in Raleigh.
We went to see The Adventure Zone.
It was The Adventure Zone, which is a podcast.
By the McElroy brothers.
It's like a D&D adventure
esque thing, yeah.
show. So
Haley said, "Oh wait, yeah, we saw a show."
yeah, so they went to see a show, and
it was a one-off, yeah, one shot.
So they went to see a show. They left here in the morning. It wasn't the morning. It was the afternoon.
Like
it was
3:30.
It was like 3:30. Sorry, morning. Sometimes morning to me feels like 3:30. I'm like morning. So they went in the afternoon. It feels. The reason I said that is because it's a big day, and I'm trying to paint the picture. But it's right. It's like 3:30.
Was it in Raleigh? Yes, it was.
So they left at like 3:30, and so on Saturday I worked. And I was hoping to do a recording with everybody, but we had so few people because a lot of people were out of town.
The 4 of us had been downtown.
Yeah, so we actually had very few people. Like, we had 3 people. And I was like, okay, it's going to be impossible to do a recording with 3 people. So then everyone that was downtown that was like, why don't you come downtown? And I was like, sure. So I got downtown at like 11.
Yeah.
Or something. So we went to the barcade that we go to sometimes, Boxcar, and then we were down there for a little bit, and then everyone was hungry, so we went to Waffle House. So we went to Waffle House. I think we got to Waffle House at like 1 a.m. Did you use your coins? Yes. That was one of the biggest things. It was like, if I go, I can get rid of these coins. I had the coins in my car.
Brandon says, it was a tough sell to go to Waffle House.
Haley and Mal decided well before I got there that they were going to use, what did he call it? Your feminine wiles to persuade me to go to Waffle House. So I get there, and they're like, we want to go to Waffle House. It's like, you don't have to twist my arm to go to Waffle House. And they were like, no, you hate Waffle House. You're only going because of our feminine wiles. And I was like, sure. It's like, I hate waffles, and I hate houses. And the only thing I hate more is Waffle Houses. So, Josh Jepson, Seduced at the Waffle House is my favorite novel. I feel almost certain that that's real. Someone has written that. That's at least like a $2 Amazon ebook or something. Absolutely guaranteed.
And it was the Waffle House experience.
Yeah,
it was.
I'm so glad that
quintessentially Waffle House at 1 a.m. or whatever time we were there.
I'm so glad that Mal and Haley persuaded me to go to the Waffle House because it was a really good experience. One of the interesting things about going to Waffle House here in Raleigh has been, up to this point...
Can you hand me my coffee? The loudest Waffle House. It really was.
So, when Mal and I would go to Waffle House in Myrtle Beach, we were never the only people there. Ever. Like, we would go in the middle of the night, and there were several other tables there. Like, there was stuff going on. And the thing that was weird about Raleigh is that anytime we've been to Waffle House in the past while we've lived here, we've been like the only people. Maybe one other table. And that's just really weird to me, because that's not what I'm used to. Well, we went on a Saturday night, and everything changed. the Waffle House was packed at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And, like, people had the jukebox going.
There were
and,
people
like,
waiting to sit at tables.
they had an armed security guard, which was great because then it felt like the Savannah Waffle House to me. But also the armed security guard was helping to bus tables. And I just loved that. Like, he wasn't just standing around. Like, he was like, let me help. So he was actually, like, coming to get the stuff. Oh, y'all... Some people are alarmed that there's a security guard at Waffle House. I've been to multiple Waffle Houses with security guards. Yeah,
Brandon says, "Yeah, guys, it's Waffle House at 2 a.m."
Yeah, there's a lot there. I mean, Waffle House. There's a lot of potential for like some stuff to go down at a Waffle House in the middle of the night. So like going. If it's one of those Waffle Houses, like not all of them come with a security guard, but some of them need security guards.
At certain times of day, certain days.
Yeah. So,
And it was the Waffle House with a reputation in Raleigh.
Yeah. Because, like, so we went to the one in Savannah, and in Savannah, that place was always packed, like at any time. But there was an armed security guard that just sat, like, at the door, like, nonstop. Anytime after, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 p.m. until the morning. So, like...
Haley says, we felt safe and it was as loud as a club. She's not wrong. It was very loud.
Yeah. It was cool. Because it reminded me of, like, what a Waffle House, in my opinion, is, like, supposed to be at 1 in the morning. I'm like, this is...
On a Saturday night,
I was like, this is Waffle House.
There was a big, like, bus that pulled up. Like, not like a church bus, not like a bus.
Renee said, were you the only sober people there? Are you talking to me? Because you can't be talking to my group. That is a cute question, Renee. Yeah, because after the show ended, y'all went like bar hopping.
We went to 2.
So a little hop. 2 hops this time. Were we sober? I mean, I had my doubts based on the fact that when I arrived at the barcade, I was immediately assaulted with, our feminine wiles are what got you to go to the Waffle House. So I was like, well, okay. So yeah, I don't know. You know, I was... Me and the armed security guard may have been the only ones in the entire restaurant.
Yeah.
He
was definitely sober.
Anyway, it was a good experience and a reminder of like what Waffle House can be. As opposed to like the night we had Hal and we had to drive.
It was only us, Josh and Hal.
It was the 4 of us and we had to drive to multiple Waffle Houses. Until we found one that was usable. The first one locked their doors.
It was the same one we went to.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, now we know.
One.
We're like, all right, there you go. We got 29 months from Lil Dombo, 500 bits from Shy, who says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the rare footage of the elusive grandpa spotted deep in the mountains. Little was known about this strange creature and the couch it calls home." I'm not that much of a cryptid.
A little bit.
Maybe a little bit. 37 months from grandson Brambo.
Brandon said, so we have to go on Saturday. That's the only time I guess we can go.
I mean, Saturday, it seems... The thing that was interesting to me, and I know that this, whenever I arrived on Saturday to the barcade, that we have historically went to the barcade on Friday. There's like Friday after stream.
We've been.
Is when we've been multiple times now. It's like, okay, that's when things worked out. And in my mind, Friday night and Saturday night are the same night. I'm like, what difference does it make? I'm not even talking about from the perspective of I work at home and all my days are the same. I'm just like, the weekend is here once Friday night happens. So what is the difference between Friday and Saturday? Apparently, there's a big difference. Because I've never had any difficulties parking on Fridays. Like, I've always found a spot, like, pretty close by. On Saturday when I went, I circled things for like 3 or 4 times before I was like, oh my God, this is not going to happen. And then I had to drive like a few blocks away. So apparently something's different because everything was way busier on Saturday. And also, I'm pretty sure we've been to Waffle House on Friday, and it was not as busy.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's so different, but we saw him circling on Find My
Yeah,
Steven.
we were watching.
Haley sent me a message, and she was like, where are you? We're so worried. Why are you circling? But she sent it to me once I had, like, found a parking spot and had been on foot for, like, 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm not circling. I'm, like, walking to the thing. Mm-hmm. But she was talking about it from when I had been in the car.
Yeah. Well, we had been watching you for a while, circle. So she wasn't sure, because you're just still moving, because you were walking.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes Find My gets a little wonky.
Yeah.
Also, it's true. We had 34 months from Econ 18. Appreciate it.
Having a ridiculous sunrise?
We are.
You need Tiny Eddie's apple-wrapped mushroom chunks.
Apple-wrapped mushroom chunks. Doesn't sound awful. That's bits from Tricky Anthea. It says, happy 6 a.m. Ankle surgery is this Thursday, and today is my last day of work for about 3 months. Nervous as heck and would like my pre-surgery Eddie snack now, since I have no idea if I'll catch Thursday's stream. Good vibes.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. I know that it's, you know, a little anxiety-inducing, I'm sure, because surgery just is inherently, but everyone here is wishing you the best. I hope everything goes well. And, you know, as soon as you wake up out of surgery and they're like, you know, can we get you anything? You tell them, I only want apple-wrapped mushroom chunks. And they'll be like, what? Like, please, do you have those? That's what I would like.
Thank you. I have Kitty.
And ask for Kelsey. Ask if Kelsey can bring you apple juice. It's perfect.
Hi.
Perfect. We got 40 months from Mr. Squidpus. Thank you. So anyway, that was Saturday. Mm-hmm. And that was good.
Yeah. I had a great Saturday.
That was a good Saturday.
The show was phenomenal.
I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Mm-hmm. It sounds like I could have went.
You could have, but I mean, they don't announce that ahead of time. It could have been like a balanced story for all we knew. And like, Brandon took that risk. But Brandon also read the first comic.
Yeah, I wasn't going to take the risk.
Yeah.
I was like, it would feel crappy for me to sit in a show and not understand what the heck is going on, so.
Brandon says it was like a fiasco session. Kind of. They played Sexy Battle Wizards.
Chaz says, I mean, you're leaving out your other food adventure on Saturday, but I can talk about that. 300 from Khmer the Jew, who says, there are actual Waffle House novels, a poetry book, one with zombies, and one called Smothered and Covered, Waffle House, and the Southern Imagery. There's also, because this is, I always love to talk about this, because there's at least someone in the audience who does not know this. There are multiple records, like recorded records with multiple tracks, multiple records, multiple albums of Waffle House music. It's recorded, like, for the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, there's lyrics.
Like, the Waffle House Corporation produced them.
And I know that some people are at least aware of Raisins in My Toast, which is true. But, like, that's barely scratching the surface. There are entire albums full of Waffle House music. You can find it online. It's well worth your time to, like, listen to. It's incredible. Like Special Lady at the Waffle House. Special lady, waiting on me at the Waffle House. She's amazing, calling all those orders
Preaching
out.
says the Waffle House Index is a thing and it's wild. Yeah, we explained that to Hal, And he was like, no.
He thought that was fake.
He thought it was fake. And I had to pull up the Wikipedia article. And I was like, Hal, we experienced a yellow index Waffle House.
Yeah, Waffle House Index is just the fact that the government, the United States government, uses whether or not Waffle House is open or not.
Has a full menu.
Or has a full menu to determine how bad a crisis is. It is real. It is a real thing. It's fine. Anyway, it's fun to share these because there's always at least one person in the audience that doesn't know this information yet. And then they're like, I'm sorry? And it's like, yeah. It's always very fun for international viewers because they're like, what's happening in America? And I'm just thinking, what isn't?
Waffle House is such a good means of getting their products and like how they're set up as a company, like the production line, that if they don't have a full menu or if they're closed entirely, that it's reliable enough for the government to say something is going on.
Yeah. Anyway, I sincerely hope, if folks visit the States from out of the country, that Waffle House is on your list of places to visit. Preferably like 1 a.m. on a Saturday, but...
Why did he just go behind the curtain?
He does that.
I think he likes the feel of it.
Yeah, maybe. He also has realized that there's things back there to chew.
Ah.
It's fine. We had 41 months from Layla 3. Appreciate it. And 300 bits from Trademark 13. Says, it is only one more day until I leave for my trip to Japan. This will be my first time in Japan, and I've been watching some of the old Japan vlogs in preparation.
Awesome.
You're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
You're going to have a super, super great time. I'm very excited for you. I'm slightly jealous also, because I'm like, ooh, I want to go back. I want to go back and just go to all the book offs.
I know you do.
That's a fun activity for Steve and George. Walk into the book off and just buy Japanese GameCube games. I like it. Have fun. That's great. And whenever you get back, you'll have to share some of your fun experiences. God, there is a certain.
It's been so long.
It's been
2019.
4 years. It's been over 4 years. Yeah, yeah. It was very fun. I hope to go back in the future at some point. I just want to I want to wake up in the morning and walk to a 7-Eleven and eat onigiri for breakfast. Because I did that a lot.
Pork cutlet sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. We got 500 bits from the Leaf. It says, I'm noticing a lack of birds in this landscape view. It is nice with the actual scenery. It's a nice little addition.
Assault your hunger with Tiny Eddie's Rich Barbecue Baby Shower Seal Nuggets.
The phrase "rich barbecue baby shower" is really something. 1,000 bits from Genesis. It says, Eddie, the printer's been having the same issue it always has. Do you have a snack for me to put a smile back on my face? How about rich barbecue baby shower seal nuggets? They're seal nuggets drenched in a rich barbecue sauce that was originally served to the baby shower.
Combination barbecue baby shower.
I'm at the barbecue. I'm at the baby shower. I'm at the combination barbecue baby shower. 11 months from Monkey in the Moon. 3 months from Strawberry Hearts. 500 bits of Mr. Piperfang says, more bird. Serve you at a barbecue baby shower.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart. So, let me start by saying yesterday I was sicker than I've been in months. And I'm not entirely sure why. I have a few different suspicions. But yesterday I was like sick on my stomach's never normal. Most people that have been around for a while, they know that, and it's true. But also, like, I still have a baseline of like normal, right? But yesterday I was sick. I was very sick. And like screaming sick, which, is not ideal. So I was thinking back about like what I did and what could have caused this. And as Chaz so helpfully pointed out, I did create a sandwich on Saturday.
Yeah.
Which was, in hindsight, an excessive sandwich.
Brandon throwing punches.
So let me back up just a tad to fully explain this story a little bit better. A few days ago, Mallory had purchased a sourdough boule to create grilled cheese. There was an evening or something where like
You had something.
I had something going on or something. I had my dinner figured out. Mal needed to have dinner, so she got a sourdough boule because we had some cheese already, and was like, I'm gonna make grilled cheese, and I was like, okay. So then on Saturday she was gone because she went to the show, and her and Brandon and Dan and Haley all had dinner out, so they had dinner, and I was at home, and I was like, okay, I need to use up some of this bread. So it's been a while since I made a grilled cheese. It's not something I typically make. It's been a bit. I understand the general idea of how to make a grilled cheese. I wasn't worried about that, but I was like, how much cheese do you put on a grilled cheese? Like, I legitimately could not remember. Couldn't remember. So the bread that I picked out, it's a pre-sliced sourdough boule. I picked it out of the center. So like these were fairly big pieces of bread. I mean, these were like, that's like a slice of bread. Like it was a big boy. So I pulled it out. I got the griddle hot, and I buttered the bread, put it on there, and then I was like, how much cheese are you supposed to put on this? I was like, I don't know. So I pulled out the cheese. There's a lot of cheese, and it's gonna go bad very soon. Like there's a lot of cheese in this pack, and I'm like, well, I'm incentivized to use a little extra cheese no matter what, because food waste, and I don't want this cheese to go bad. So I pull out the cheese, and I'm like, well, let's start with like 2 slices. So I put 2 slices. 2 slices covers 1 piece of the bread. Like that's how much surface area there is for the bread. And I was like, okay. Well, let's put 2 on the other side as well. So we put one slice, 2 slice, 3 slice, 4 slice, and I'm looking at it, and it hasn't started to melt yet, obviously. I have it on low heat. And I'm like, this doesn't look like a lot of cheese. I was like, I'm aware that it hasn't started to melt, but it doesn't look like a lot of cheese.
How big are the slices? Standard, like you would buy in a pack to put on a sandwich.
And I was like, I guess I could add a little more cheese. So I added 2 more pieces of cheese. So 6 pieces of cheese. And I'm looking at the cheese, and I'm like, there's a few areas where I haven't, that are now not equal with the other pieces of cheese. So I took a 7th slice of cheese, and I broke it up into pieces to put it on.
What kind of cheese were you using?
It was Colby Jack.
Colby Jack.
And it was a standard square of Colby Jack, which is what, like 2 square inches. So I put my 7 pieces of cheese on this sandwich. And the griddle starts to get hot, and the cheese starts to melt. And like once the cheese starts to melt, I think, oh, that's a lot of cheese. Like, as soon as I did that, my brain is, like, going backwards in time, and it's like, I think you only needed, like, 2, bud. Maybe 3. And, I'm like, oh, no. That's just a lot of... Like, it's gotten to the point... Like, I've put the lid on. The cheese is just... The cheese has oozed out, is now forming a crust on the cheese, which is fine. I mean, it's delicious, but like I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh Christ, okay, yeah, this is definitely too much cheese. This is more than I needed. So I finished the sandwich. I also had some tomato basil soup, because Mal had picked up a tomato basil soup, and so I cut the sandwich in half, and it's also fun when I was, as part of the vlog, I was like, I'm making a grilled cheese tonight. And I showed the fact that I was, like, going to make a grilled cheese. When it finished, and I realized what I had done, I was like, this doesn't need to be on the vlog. There's no part that needs to show
Instead, you'll tell it
this
during stream.
this monstrosity. Well, I'm telling it because Chaz alluded to it. But yes. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave that out. Yeah, I get to choose when the shame gets to be hidden. So I was like, I'm just going to leave that part out. So I ate this sandwich, which just, there was so much cheese. It was very good. It was very good, but even for me, I was like, this was definitely more than I needed. Anyway, so I ate that sandwich, and then after I'd eaten the sandwich, it was just a few short hours later, was when Mao and Haley and everyone was like, come on down to the barcade. I was like, okay. So I went down to the barcade, and then we weren't there long, and then we went to Waffle House, where I had a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich, and I had hash browns with cheese and chili on them. And that does add up to 9 pieces of cheese. But it's actually 10, because we overlooked the fact that morning for breakfast I had a bagel with a piece of cheese on it. I didn't put the cheese on the bagel. The cheese
It was a cheese bagel.
It was a cheese bagel. So I had 10 pieces of cheese that day. Also, as an aside, I always order the chili on the Waffle House hash browns. I love it. It's delicious. There has never been a time in my life where that has not made me ill. I keep doing it because I haven't yet learned the lesson. I think maybe there's just enough period of time that happens between the chili, like the Waffle House experiences, that like
You forget.
I forget or something. But as soon as I had it, and finished it, I was like, oh, this might be a problem. So anyway,
I believe earlier Padawan Becca said, Steven, do you need to be supervised at all times? And the answer is yes.
I mean, it might help, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I had a rough day yesterday. I mean, I sat on the toilet and screamed for a long time. Multiple times, because I was in the bathroom many times. And the thing is...
well, if it isn't the consequences of my own action.
And like, the thing is, Sapphire Becca says, wait, Sunday or Monday? Well, that's the thing. Monday. It was Monday. So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I actually don't know that this was the sandwich. I know everyone wants it to be that sandwich so badly. They want it to be all of that. But so much time had passed that I'm actually not sure that was it. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the sandwich was dinner. Saturday night.
It was Saturday night, and I was experiencing pain
Monday.
36 to 40 hours later. Yeah. Chess says, since you were fine Sunday, hard to say. So instead, I have another very concerning thing. Yesterday, I decided it was before dinner. Like, dinner was gonna be, we were gonna have dinner later, and I needed something to tide me over because we were doing a Stephen and Friends recording last night. So I was like, I'm just gonna have a bowl of cereal. So I put all of the cereal into the bowl, and then I went to grab the milk, and on a whim, I was like, I'm just gonna sniff the milk. Just gonna give it a sniff. I sniffed to the milk. Milk was bad. And it was concerning because the expiration date wasn't for another day, but the milk was bad. And I thought to myself, did I have a bowl of cereal yesterday?
On Sunday?
And the answer was yes. And I was like, I wonder if the reason that I'm sick is because I had cereal on Sunday with sour milk. And I think that may have been what was wrong. So even though even though I'm sure that everyone was rooting for the problem to be the fact that I consumed 10 pieces of cheese and then went to a Waffle House, that actually is not the problem, I think. I think I survived that okay. I think the fact that I had sour milk the day before in cereal was the problem. See, the thing that sucks is that we get our milk from Costco, and there's been many times where, like, the milk is good 2 weeks past the date. Like, I'm smelling it every day because I'm like, there's no way. And I'm like, no, it's still fine. So there's been many times that's been the case, and this was one of those instances where it went bad before. So, Didn't you notice it tasting bad? I did not. I also use very little milk, right? Because I don't want a whole lot of milk in there. Yeah. Anyway, so that was my food adventure. Yesterday was rough. I had woken up yesterday and I was like, I'm gonna do some exercise today and I'm gonna get a shower and everything's gonna be great. And instead, I did neither of those things because I felt like death. Yeah. Anyway, I
can't be home all the time.
I mean, it wasn't that unreasonable for me to not smell the milk.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
The date was still like 2 or 3 days away, and it was Costco milk. Costco milk is so... It lasts forever. And I was like, oh, it's fine. Yeah. How am I today? So far, I feel good. And like, as the day was ending yesterday, I was starting to feel better. So I think I'm good. Sometimes you have to live with your choices, and sometimes they hurt. I'm also not going to make... first off, I just don't want grilled cheese for a while, but also, the next time I make grilled cheese...
Oh, sorry. I got stuff to make pear and brie grilled cheese.
That sounds delicious. I will remember to not do so much.
I'll make it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do it anymore, because now I'm like, yeah, that's right. The cheese is going to melt, and it's going to look like more cheese than you think.
Yes.
I mean, trust me. When I was adding slices 5 and 6, I was like, this is definitely too much cheese. I was like, this is a lot of... the cheese consumption here is high. But I justified it because the cheese was going to go bad, and the sandwich was so large. I was like, this is a big sandwich. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway. 3 Bits Beside says, Saturday in the park, or maybe at a Waffle House. Saturday, time to walk, circling for parking spots, people laughing, busboys packing, armed guards serving ice cream, singing raisin songs. Do they have ice cream?
No.
You can't get your pie a la mode?
No.
I've never ordered ice cream there. But sometimes I'm like, I don't know. 30 Bits from Mr. Riperfang says, so basically you're saying you had a pizza with extra cheese then? Haley, I am absolutely going to make a grilled cheese sandwich for lunch. The concern when I told this story to Chaz was like, did you consume any protein today? And the answer was no. But it got better, because then I went to Waffle House where I had protein.
Sausage and
Sausage and chili. Easy. Easy. Yeah, there is protein in cheese, but not a sizable source. Although I guess once you eat 7 slices, it's probably starting to be some amount of protein.
Yeah, you could say that.
You could say that. 45 months from 05 Nataku. Appreciate it. Yeah, also fun time to remind everyone that I do go to have my follow-up blood work for my cholesterol in 2 weeks. Okay,
I'm okay.
It's fine. What's also fine are these patrons! Patreon.com/StephenGeorge. Thank you, patrons. Tell your doctor about that sandwich. I may mention that. So, like, the thing is, I have very deliberately tried to change nothing while I've been on the Crestor. My idea behind that is that I'm on the Crestor for 6 months, and I want to see how my blood work changes with no changes to my diet and being on the pills. The problem is this specific Saturday was very out of the ordinary. This is something that, like, never happens. So I'm hoping that that doesn't skew things too much, but it's still 2 weeks away. So I'm like, I think it's probably okay. I think it's probably fine. So we'll see what happens. I need to know the baseline of like how I am on the medicine with no changes to my diet
Before
I make changes to my diet.
You can't change two things at once.
Yeah. So we'll see. We're gonna find out. They're either gonna be like, hey, the Crestor's working, or hey, you need a higher dosage of Crestor, or hey,
you need a diet change.
You need to become a vegan. You know, one of those. Something.
You know who else has a follow-up appointment?
Kepo?
Kepo.
Kepo gonna go to doctor too, make sure Kepo doing okay. Jacebook says, any updates on a new Patreon vid for July? I mean, there will be one, but we're not into July yet. So, as soon as we get into July, there will be one. There's some stuff to talk about. Kepo.
You go to the doctor, and then Kepo goes to the doctor, and then you go to find out what the blood test said?
Yes. It's true. All of these things are true.
He's looking back and forth between us.
Hi, bud. Walk around. He's doing better about not getting up on the coffee table.
Yeah.
Because I've tried to get him to not do that, and it seems to be working, because he could have just went up and over.
But he walked around.
That's good. Good job. 41 months also from the Thunderstriker. Appreciate it. Does he still scratch the couch?
Not really.
I haven't heard him scratch the couch in a while. We also have a scratching post right next to the couch, so that minimizes that a lot.
And he does prefer the scratching post. Doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, for most cats, like, if a cat is scratching something... Yeah, not while you're looking. If a cat is scratching something, generally that's an indication of, like, that is where a scratching post should be. It's very difficult to teach a cat to not do a thing. It is easier to, like, if the cat is doing a thing, be like, this is where you want to do the thing. And then put the scratching post in that area. Because if you do that, the cat will gravitate towards the scratching post because it's exactly what the cat wants. So, yeah. One of the areas that we have a scratching post is downstairs.
It's accommodations instead of trying to change the behavior.
Yes. We have a scratching post where all of the bar stools are. And like,
which is inconvenient if you want to sit at the bar stools.
Well, there's enough room.
Yeah,
there's enough room for everything. But like 85% of the time, he will use the scratching post, and then 15% of the time he'll rear up on a chair, and then we'll be like, no, and then be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then he'll stop and go to the scratching post and do that. So like, yeah.
I think we need another one on the
Cats.
corner of that couch downstairs.
Yeah, that would probably be helpful.
Yeah.
Because he does go to that exact spot. And since he keeps going to that exact spot, that is where a scratching post should go. So. Oh, Supkid says, oh my god, week 3 of being a cat mom. How do I get the cat to stop thinking I'm its toy? Mind you, it's still a baby.
Oh, babies.
Baby kitties are fun. Start now. Because if you start now and you're consistent, and you have to be consistent every time. If you're consistent every time, the cat will stop treating you like the toy. And the trick is, cats love motion.
They're hunters.
Because they're hunters. So if you're playing with a cat, and the cat turns to like, oh, now I'm going to, go after you, immediately freeze. So like no motion. The cat,
even if it hurts.
Even if it hurts, no motion.
And then switch to a toy.
So what you want to do is you want to teach the cat that like toys are totally okay, everything's all right if you play with a toy, but if you play with a human, like play stops immediately, and eventually the cat will understand like, oh, like this isn't fun, because when we first got Sagan and Kep, they played. That way.
That's what they do.
Because that's how cats are. And it didn't take that long.
No.
Like a few weeks of doing that consistently, and then for the rest of their lives, they never once went after a
fingers
person.
are not toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, good boy.
So it works. It's just a matter of, starting young is helpful, and then just being as consistent as possible. Hi, buddy.
Toys on strings are great. Toys on sticks. So your hands are far away.
Yeah. I prefer the string toys. Hi, buddy. And then, of course, it's probably obvious, but like never roughhouse with the cat in a manner that would make the cat want to
go after your hands.
Go after you in the first place, right? And if you have any guests or anything that come in the house, and like sometimes people, everyone's got different. Hi, honey. Yes, sweetheart. Yes,
we're hungry.
We're doing a show right now. You actually get fed like after the show, so we can wait. We can wait a little bit. Yeah. You would just be a little patient. But if you have guests or something that like their history with cats is like, to rile up the cat and like try to get the cat, like immediately shut it down and be like, nope, not my cat. Because otherwise then the cat will revert and be like, oh, I'm supposed to kill you. Hi, buddy. You're very sweet. You're a good boy. Hi. Father. The Loop's father. Haley says, yeah, I'm more worried about people than other animals. You ready for breakfast early? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or not.
What if I bite this? He's touching his automatic feeder.
Hi, bud. If we get frantic enough, that's when we will start causing problems on purpose. I don't understand him. Well, I kind of understand what happened. I think ever since he moved to that other medicine, it's changed his need for like the timing of his food.
Yeah.
And it continues to evolve in a way that I'm just like, oh, you're just hungrier now. Okay. You be patient?
No, we cannot be patient.
We don't understand that.
No.
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 Should I give him a couple kibbles?
You should probably give him a couple kibbles.
Because he's causing problems?
He's beginning to cause problems.
We got what we wanted.
Yeah, for the longest time we were able to feed him at like 10:30. That's his feed. What, 10 to 10:30. And increasingly that number has been like pushed back a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I may space out his dry food feedings a little bit. But he'll have wet food after the show. Sorry, what was the other thing I was going to say?
I wanted to say something, because we were talking about Kepler and play.
Yeah, go for it.
It was interesting because we had Sagan, also, and how Sagan would play versus how Kepler plays.
Yeah.
Because, like, if Sagan was a lot more gentle. Like, Sagan understood that he would hurt people and didn't want to do that. Kepler has no concept of many things.
Yeah, Sagan was able to be around people, and specifically, I think what you're referring to is like when Kepler tries to get my attention, like mm-hmm. if he like reaches up onto, like if I'm standing, if he reaches up to try and like pet me on the thigh, like Kepler has no concept of the fact that he's using his nails.
Yeah.
Like he will use his nails.
Like when I do high fives with Kepler, like he will use his nails.
And Sagan did not.
Yeah.
Sagan had put together the pieces of like, do not use nails.
Mm-hmm.
So Sagan never used his nails doing like tricks or like if he was like trying to get my attention or anything.
Like,
whereas Kepler
'cause,
never
like,
figured that
when
out.
Kepler was pawing at you, like, I don't know if people could see, he had his claws out.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt. Like, he's gentle-ish, but he doesn't know to, like,
Not do
retract his claws in a way that, you know, he just never figured out. But that's fine. He also never figured out push or pull. And, you know, and
Bless Kepler.
he's doing the best he can. He's a very sweet cat. You're a very sweet boy. Very loving cat. Like Snuggles a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, we're climbing. That's not stable.
Oh, but it's soft.
He
The blanket we put on the couch on Fridays to cover this up that's green, he's on top of the pile of that, just...
He's making biscuits on it. Hi, bud. Yes, you're very happy about that. Mao has a rug in front of her sink in the bathroom, and it's a very plush rug.
Yeah.
And Kepler will go onto that rug and make biscuits for like 5 minutes.
So happy, just...
Like 5 straight minutes, he just loves it. And then he'll finally lay down. And I'm like, cats. Hi, sweetie. You having a good time. You having yourself a good morning.
he's having a good morning.
He's just purring so hard. Hi. Yes, you're very sweet. You're very sweet. I was going to talk more about what happened over the weekend. I was trying to think if there was anything else, because Saturday was the big thing.
Yeah, Saturday was the big thing.
Am I missing anything from Sunday or Monday, other than I was extremely sick because I ate maybe a bad milk?
I renewed my passport. Thank you. I needed to. It expired.
I don't think there's anything else. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was
That was it.
Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I remember. I had a absolutely insane dream.
Oh, yeah.
I had an absolutely insane dream, and I wanted to talk about it because I woke up this morning and I remembered it really well. And we have a group chat with Alex and Haley, and I sent it to them. And Alex was like, "This is wonderful." So I'll just read what I wrote because then that's easier. I had a dream. The creator of Qbert was signing 3DO copies of his game at a Kmart, and I went to get a copy. I picked one up and handed it to him, and he flipped it over onto the back so he could sign it on the back. And when he did, there was a post-it note that a Kmart employee had written about making sure to set aside a stack of them for the signing. But the post-it note was affixed to the game box using packing tape, and it was clear that it'd be impossible to get off. So the creator of Qbert stops, sighs loudly, then screams, "Melissa!" at the top of his lungs, and a Kmart employee rushes over. He starts berating her for ruining the collector's value by using packing tape, asking why she would use the tape when the post-it is already sticky. And then I woke up. So Alex asked, "What did the creator of Qbert look like in your dream?" And it took me a while to figure out the person's name because it was a famous actor, and I had to like try and figure it out. And it's Wallace Shawn. So Wallace Shawn was playing the role of the Qbert creator. And there was actually a little more to the dream than what I had written, because in the dream that was available on Switch and 3DO. And when I got there, I wanted a Switch copy, but there was 2 women in front of me who looked like they were probably like 90s moms, and they were buying the Switch copies, and the Switch copy came in like this really big box, and it had like a door that opened on the front of the box, and they each got this. I guess there was only 2 Switch copies. So then I walked up and I talked to Wallace Shawn, and I was like, "Are there any more Switch copies?" And he goes, "Nope, that was it. because I guess they only got 2. But then they had a stack of 3DO copies on the counter, and I was like, I'll just get one of these. There he is. There's Wallace Shawn.
Jess.
So, yeah, I got a 3DO copy, and then the creator of Qbert, Wallace Shawn, signed it. Well, he actually didn't get to the signing part.
He yelled at Melissa and you woke up?
Like, he flipped it over onto the back, which, by the way, is insane. That's not a thing. No one signs something on the back. He flipped it over on the back and then got out his Sharpie, and then he was just like... Ugh. But also, when I saw it, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, why did they do that? Like, there was this Post-it, and the Post-it was like, you know, leave aside this copy for, you know, signing or whatever. And then it was affixed with packing tape. It was really upsetting. Anyway. Yeah, so, that was my dream. Becca says, same cinematic universe as the Danny DeVito dream. Yes. It was a good dream. Like, in terms of, like, I want my dreams to be really out there and have very weird elements. So then when in the morning, I'd be like, wow, what a very strange... Like, that's good. That's very fun. The wildest part may be the Kmart. I mean, there's a lot of wild parts. It's a Kmart. It was Wallace Shawn. Qbert was re-releasing onto Switch and 3DO? I don't know if you guys are familiar with the box for the 3DO boxes are like these long things. It's just like a weird... I don't know what was happening. It was very strange. It was very, very strange. Hi, buddy.
We're still hungry.
But he's willing to lay down now. The food is hitting his belly. He's willing to take a seat. Take a seat, buddy. Take a seat. There you go. Hi. We'll be done. We'll be done shortly.
Yeah.
And then we'll give you a little wet food. We extra hungry today. Purr. 300 bits from Shire says, Kepler's Mind. I want you to fear me. Everyone's reaction. Well, aren't you just cute? You'll get your food later. You get it later.
He's something.
Good boy. Yeah, I couldn't remember Wallace Shawn's name. I knew his face. So I had to Google bald actor funny. And Wallace Shawn was the first result. And I was like...
Big.
I couldn't think of, you know, how to Google that. And it totally worked. First result on like Google image search. And I was like, that's him. Wallace Shawn. Perfect. Anyway. 29 months also for My Hilo. Thank you. So let's talk about things that are occurring this week.
I'm streaming tonight.
Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, Mallory is doing a cooking.
Yeah. I'm going to make grilled cheese. It's not fully grilled cheese. It's sort of grilled cheese. There's sandwiches and there's cheese.
Mallory, you could have chosen anything. What? Why did... It wasn't even supposed to be a cooking stream.
No, it was not. That's my fault. It was supposed to be an art stream.
But the art stream is now pushed back to next week.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's totally fine. All right. Okay. So tonight at 7, we'll make cheese.
Ham and cheese sliders.
Ham and cheese sliders are very good. It's maybe one of the earliest recipes we shared on the vlog.
Yeah.
And they are very good. They are very good. What do people need for that?
Ham, cheese.
Hawaiian rolls?
Hawaiian rolls. The sauce has like butter, Worcestershire, Dijon, poppy seeds. I took a photo of it already.
That sounds about...
There's like 2 more ingredients. That's not photos. That's photos.
that sounds about everything. The concept of sliding.
Garlic, salt, and brown sugar.
Understand the concept of slide. So, yeah. So that's tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Or in 9 hours. In 9 hours, please join us for making a sandwich. Making many tiny
We're also
sandwiches.
going to make broccoli. We're going to do charred broccoli.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's a nice little addition. So that'll be tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, join me for a solo stream. And I believe... So I had originally planned on doing, like one game tomorrow. Like, oh, I'm going to play a game. But I actually have some more First 20 stuff I really need to do. So I think I'm going to do one more First 20 stream. So join me tomorrow for that. It'll be a fun.
It'll be a fun.
It'll be a fun. It'll be a fun. And for everyone still waiting on me to do us like one game next week. Then, yeah, the stuff I actually have to do tomorrow is all Switch based. So I'm gonna be I'll be in here and do it from this spot because I have some Switch stuff I need to do. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan. Anyway. And then otherwise it's it. Thursday breakfast stream at normal time, and then Friday Zelda stream at normal time. Yeah. I am excited though because I do have some game stuff that I'm planning to play, like single player, and we'll get to that next week. But I do need to do some Switch stuff tomorrow, so that'll happen. And that's it.
Yeah, that is it.
That's it. That's it for now. You've already asked how is setting up tabletop going. The tabletop is set up at this point. From here on out, like getting tabletop as a stream back is mostly a scheduling thing.
Yeah.
I would expect a tabletop stream to occur in July. I just don't know when that will be. Because we're now up to 5 weekly streams. So putting tabletop into the rotation turns 5 into 6. So it's starting to become a lot. So we have to be mindful of that as we do things, especially since I'm still releasing vlogs. Speaking of, I don't have one scheduled, but I have one done. And I'll release that in the next, it's done and I think it's uploaded. I just need to put the thumbnail on it. So that'll be out in the next little bit. It's a good one too. It's where we went to the Raleigh Retro Gamers event at Moore Square, saw a bunch of video game stuff, and then also went to the ice cream place that's
Howling Cow,
which is run by NC State, where the students milk the cows and turn the milk into ice cream.
Yeah, there's a little more to it than that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm simplifying it a little bit. Anyway, so that's that'll be the next vlog out, and it'll be out in a short time. Okay, that's it. Thank you all so much for being here. Be sure to tune into Mal's channel tonight.
Yep.
At 7 p.m. Eastern. That's twitch.tv/malmakes, where we will be making, much to my chagrin, grilled cheese. Kind of.